Hello, here is BB Walker. Welcome to my channel again. Today, another video from the series about the PSR S670 Yamaha keyboard. It's a professional line arranger in which you could do a lot of crazy and very interesting things. And some of you have asked me about some basics about the notes in the keyboard because most of the video that I have made since now was about some advanced things. Actually, there was some basics about voices and operating manual, but I have never discussed the basics of the music theory. I mean, how to operate over the notes, where are the chords, what are the features about the chords, and so on and so on. So today, a video for beginners. For beginners who want to learn how to play piano or electronic keyboard or whatever instrument, because this is actually about all the instruments like this. So stay tuned, we start in a second. Alright, so we are on our super steady mount and we could continue to work. So at the beginning I will show you the basics of the notes, the basics of how the notes in music could be mapped to the keyboard piano. And here is some pages that I am using all the time for learning scales, but for you it could be easy to understand that each octave, I mean the part of different sounds. Sound, of course, is something on a given frequency, so it's a sinusoid wave, whatever, let's forget it, but they are actually in our modern, it is actually from the early beginnings of the music itself, but we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and this is the basic sounds. And most of this, some of the sounds are sharp or flat, so it's half of a tone between the sounds. But actually, what do you need to know? If you take a keyboard and start from the left side, this is the C sound. And if we go only on this white keys, we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and this is actually the octave, because the pattern now it's repeated again. And we have the higher octave. So octave is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sounds named C, D, E, F, G, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is the whole notes. But the truth is that in octave there is a 12 sounds. This is C, C sharp, D, C sharp mean a half of the tone up, so C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Between E and F there is no sharp, there is no half of a tone, there is a full tone, so E, F, F sharp, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and this exception is also between B and C, the C from the next octave. So this is the end of our 12 sounds. And between the shortest distance between two sounds is half of a tone. So before the C and C sharp is half of the tone. And let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is this 12 sounds, basic sounds. Some of them called sharp and some of them called flat. It is actually, you can almost each sound you can call flat and the appropriate sharp, because let's take a look. This is G, and this one is G sharp, I mean half of it up, but next is A, and you can also down half of the tone, and A flat, this is the same like G sharp. So G half of the tone up, we got G sharp, A flat, this is the same. So there are synonyms in here. I prefer using sharp, I mean half of the tone up. And what is important between E and F, there is no such a thing like E sharp or F flat, because between E and F there is only half of the tone. And the same situation is here between B and C. So this is how looks the pattern of the basic 12 basic sounds on the keyboard, and each keyboard has a few octaves. Some of them have larger, some of them has smaller keyboards, 64, wider version have a longer. The big grand piano has, I don't even remember how many octaves, you can check it in sources. I'm not a pianist in a grand piano, whatever, I'm an electronic enthusiast of this keyboard, but basically the same concept is going over and over again. So you got 8 basic sounds, which is 12 with the half of the tones. And here starts the next octave and the next octave. So it's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And in this keyboard there are fifth octaves. So from C to another C at the end. And you may be confused at the beginning how to, organize in here, because nobody will be starting counting from this and go. It's very difficult to organize yourself and find in the place of the keyboard. It's a very easy trick to find the C, and I personally always locate the C, and the C could be located in very simple way. You should look for two two black bars, black keys, located between half of the tone, no black bars. So locate this area, this area, this area, and this area. And to find the C, it is always on the left side. So C, 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 C. This is always C, 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 C. In the schools, you start learning from the scales C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. In Europe, some of them called H. Sorry. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So this is the basic C major scale. Also, it is A minor scale. But let's forget it about because it's not the time for this first super basic theory. I would like to show you how to organize and find yourself on the keyboard. So you know where to locate C. C, 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 C. C. Sorry. I know. C, 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 C. So you locate the first sound of each octave in the C major scale. Very popular because it doesn't contain any of the half of the tones. And if we take a look here about the scales, it's the major scales, and they are major, they are minors. There are some scales with this half of the tones. It is basically each scale is some distance between sound, and there are major chords, minor chords. There are some intervals, half of the tone, one tone, half of the tone, etc. There are some patterns and some algorithms to build these scales, but if you don't want to build it in a head, you can have such a helpful thing to practice. It's good where you are improvising with some key, with blues music, jazz, rock and roll, whatever. On the guitar and on the keyboard, of course, the same thing, the same notation, the same notes are on every instrument in the world, are the same notes. Some of them are scaled in different scales, not this popular C major, and it's this 12 notes, half of the tone, 44 hertz, whatever. So basically, you need to know that you get this 8, let's call the full sounds, and with the half of the tones, you get 12 in each octave, and each octave starts from C. Of course, octave is not always from C to C, but we are simplifying some things and telling whatever in C major scale. So C, first octave from C to B, and actually this is the beginning of the next octave. Here, another C, end of the octave, another C, end of the octave, another C, end of the octave. And it's not seen, but here at the end of the keyboard, this is the last one, C. But it's not so important now. So okay, let's go back to chords. We have 11 minutes. Okay, I think we could put this in this video. So C, C sharp, D are the simple sounds, are the standalone notes. So if someone told you play the C note, you play this or this or this or this or this. If someone tell you play the G note, you know it's here, 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 here. How to know it? You need to practice it, but if you locate and visualize, you know, memorize this, that this is the C and here is the C, D, E, and F, G, and so on, you always know between these 2 free bars, this is G, this is A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A, G, A. You always take a look at the keyboard, find the C, and know which note it is, because this is C, D, F. And during the months of playing, you just start to use it completely automatically. You won't be even need to thinking about, but it's important to know the super basics to find out what's going on. Okay, and let's go back to chords. Chords are something which plays a few standalone notes free by the basic chords. There are chords like power chords with only 2 notes. There are more complicated septim chords, whatever, but the basic chords that we know from playing the guitar are this major and minor chords, which consists of 3 sounds. Okay, so how to build a chord? This is a chord, and it's called the C major chord. Major, we noticed with big C, and here is the magic circle of 5th. So this is C major chord, and this is C minor chord. Sometimes notation is C and M, and sometimes the small c, depending on the notation. So G major, D major, A major, E major, and so on and so on. And this circle of fifths is very useful thing to making song chord progressions and so on, but it's not for this video. Now I will show you how to practice with chords. So if you enable the left side of the keyboard, so select some instrument on the left. Here it is. It's not seen, but I will try to show you. You need to remember, if you don't know how to select voices, you press the left. Right could be enabled or not. It doesn't matter. The trick is that the left must be selected. So let's select something. Glass AP. Maybe something interesting. Classic jazz. Organ. Rotor. Maybe something from brasses or horns. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's leave these horns. Sorry, full horns. Okay. But the trick is that the left side must be enabled, the left voice. Okay, and we go to main screen. And what will happen now? Let's take a look. Everything is seen. Okay, so C, E, G, and they are playing nice C major chord. How do you know that this is C major chord? Well, this is half of the tone and half of the tone. Two sounds, and this is how the chord is built. But I will show you something interesting for your training. Here, on the main screen, on this place, if you play on the left side, it actually works only on the left side. If you play these three sounds that I showed you before, C, E, and G, you play the C major chord, and it shows you that, yeah, you are playing the C major chord. If you play something else like this, it's G major chord. And this is E, A minor, G, G minor, G minor, and so on and so on. So let's zoom out. This is the place where you can check and learn chords, even without such a thing like scales or chord patterns. You can download it from the internet. But C major, C. I hope it's seen without zoom, but I would like to show you my hands and the screen. Maybe I will try to find something. Oh, sorry, it's definitely too much zoom. Okay, I hope it's seen, but you can always C major. This is D minor. D, but here is D major. And of course, it could be confusing. It's difficult to know that this is F major. This is F minor, F major, F minor. So three sounds with half of the tones. This is G major, G minor, F, E major, E minor, sorry. But and so on and so on. And now let's forget about how the chords are built, because in this Yamaha, of course, if you are playing this the accompaniment, so you're placing accompaniment, which is here. This red LED need to be enabled. If you want to know more about accompaniment, please refer to the video about accompaniment. But the trick is if you want to play chords, you can, if you don't want to hear this left sound, you can disable it. It still will be seen during playing accompaniment. C major, D minor, F major, G major, some chord that fits it to itself. We call it the chord progression in some scale, and if you are in scale, the sounds work perfectly between themselves. But what I want to say at the end actually of the video, because we got 20 minutes, the time is going so fast. Okay, so to use a chord in a playing style, you could, of course, like a professional player, press the whole three sounds which creates such a chord. And there is some simple way to play it. I mean, before you learn all these different patterns, I mean, where to use this half of the tone, because this is actually some theory of the chord creation, the intervals that you need to know. But there is such thing in a function. If you press the function for the first time and the sorry, I will enable zoom. There is such a thing like a split point, which I have discussed in another video, but it is actually about where the left side ends and the right side starts. But if you press enter on this stuff, you get two pages here. First is about the split point, which, as you can see now, where the left side is and where the right side is. So this is the way how you can change it. Split point, I mean, before which note. So as you can see now I'm expanding the left side. Now I'm decreasing. So actually it depends on you. Now it's the end of the left side. It is one sound before. Let's go to standard. By the standard, now is the standard. I mean the default, where this sound is. So this is the last from left, and now it's from right. So it's end on the sound G2. This notation G2, it means this is the note G, the second octave. If you count from the beginning, the first octave, so C1, C2, C3, and so on. And the same situation is with the other sounds. So the simple sound plus the number, it gives you the information which octave. So lower octaves, lower sound, higher octaves, higher sound. Very simple way. And if you, this is another interesting tip. Some people have voice range from octave, for example, sound C2 very low to very high, I don't know, G5 or whatever, and the better singer, the better range of the sound he could achieve. Okay, but let's go back to the topic. So on the first tab on this function chord, split point chord fingering, the second tab, so you need to press tab. I will zoom out for a little bit. I hope the basics, you know. So tab to go to another tab, and now you will see something interesting. It's called the multi-finger. Both single finger and finger are possible, and for single finger press the white black key closest to the root note. This information shows you that now we are in multi-finger style of chord picking, of chord fingering. So you can play like a pro, like I showed you before, C major, pressing 3 notes, but you can also press the one root note of the chord, which means to play C, you can only press C, and this is the same. If you start style, now I'm pressing only the C, only C, C, D, F, G. This is the major chords, and this is C sharp, D sharp, so this is a two-way feature. If you press the root note of the chord, you play the major chord. So C major, D major, F major, G major, and so on. If you press the chord with half of the tone, C sharp, it is C sharp major chord. But if you want to play the minor chord, you press the root note and the corresponding for the C minor, it's difficult, but this is of course some kind of trick. I mean, you press D and half of the tone down and you got D minor, DM. It's seen on the, now I'm playing DM, so this is D minor. E major, but E with the corresponding half of the tone down, it's E minor. F7, septieth, going up is another kind of chords, but if you are here and here, you got 7, but the closest, as they say on this info, the closest down. On C, there is no closest down, so you cannot actually play the C major, because C major could be also whatever. I don't know how to play C major. Something there is no such red black key in here, but the trick is C major chords, minor chords with the closest corresponding. So to play the F minor, you are placing F minor like this, F root note, and of course this is the proper way to play the F major. So this and this one. Sorry, this one. So C, G sharp, and F. This is C minor, C minor. But to play with simple fingering, use this trick F in here. But this, of course, is a feature of this instrument. So let's go back to this chord fingering and how to change these settings. Because, to start accompaniment and playing chords during the song, if you have the chord progression of the song, you need to actually, without this single finger feature, you won't be able to play it if you don't know how the chord is built. So free sounds on this chord, it could be difficult to the beginners. But by the default, this function, if you press function, go to chord fingering, enter, second tab, and you have this fingering type. And let's discuss what do we have except, over this multi-finger. So above the multi-finger, we got single finger. Single finger is an easy chord indicator. So you place major root key plus minor left black key and 7th, so the F7th, you are placing the right white key and minor root on the left, so black keys. So this actually like in multi-fingering, but without playing the super professional full fingering. So this is single. There is no way to play 3 notes. We can check it, of course. Let's go back. And now we are in single, so C major, but this is G7. Like this one. So as you can see now I am not able to play like a pro. This is not, in normal this is C major, but now it's a single fingering, so we are only using this trick. C major, D minor, and so on and so on. So this is actually not very good for me, I think, because it's good to start trying to learn. When it's possible and you are playing the accompaniment, so you could play this fully composed chord like a pro, of course. So function again, go to this chord fingering, So the default is multi-finger, so both situation could apply. And there is also fingered. I mean, this is only for pros, because in this finger mode, you press more than 3 keys if the chord is detected. Fingering method displayed in the chord tutorial function. So there is a tutorial. Finger and bass. Same as fingered, except that allows you to play on bass chords with the lowest key becoming the bass notes. And there is also full keyboard. So full keyboard detects chord played with both hands in the entire range. The keyboard played voice sounds blah 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 blah. AI fingered, I mean the similar to fingered, but detect chords with only 1 or 2 keys. The actual chords used depends of the previously played chords. Because if you mix up this multi-finger, finger, and full finger, you know, sometimes the algorithm can guess. I mean, they probably use the chord progression of the magic circle of fifth. But the most too commonly used is single finger, multi-finger, or fingered. I mean, the three commonly used. And I advise you to use this multi-finger, I mean, by the default. So you are able to play simple chords detection, simple chords, you know, possible, but also you can you try to learn this professional way, and so on and so on. Okay, so we got 13 minutes. I think it's time to end. So thanks for watching. We have discussed the basic notes, how they are organized on the keyboard. We have also discussed the chord progression, chord build, how the fingering methods could be changed in the menu of the function, and the split point between the left and right side. If you want to know, please refer to my channel. And if you have any questions, just give me a comment and I will answer you personally and maybe prepare a video for you. So thanks again for watching. It was BB Walker. See you later.